57. A.
We expected profits to drop this quarter, but they rose by a third.
Patients are now encouraged to exercise instead of rest after their operations.
Although many people think of ants as a nuisance, they play a vital role in many ecosystems.
We know that vegetarians have low rates of heart disease, but we don't fully understand why.
Rather than wait for the authorities to solve the problem, we should act now.
57. B.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here to represent Ravoda and participate in this valuable discussion. One of the things I enjoy about working for Ravoda is that the company recognises the importance of balancing the needs of business and society. As a car manufacturer, we know that we are part of the environmental problem and need to be part of the solution. With that in mind, I'd like to propose that the mission for all of us, starting with this meeting, is to find ways that people can continue to enjoy the freedom and lifestyles they do now, but by running cars that won't damage the planet. I realise that is a huge task, but it's not an impossible dream. Think of the talent, creativity and influence we have at this meeting. If we, together with governments, decide to move forward together, a solution can be found.
57.1. Example.
We didn't think the bid would be successful, but it's been accepted.
1.
She always said it was her best film, although the critics hated it.
2.
Rather than a military solution, we should be looking for a political one.
3.
Some plastics are easy to produce, but difficult to dispose of.
4.
Instead of a quick resolution to the war, their tactics prolonged it.
5.
Most people think he's French, but in fact he's from Canada.
6.
The model weighs only 4 kilos, whereas the full-scale version will weigh 4,000.
7.
Despite the president's personal popularity, his party lost the election.
8.
The novel was all his own work, or he claimed it was.
9.
The area is a popular tourist attraction, and yet completely unspoilt.
10.
Unlike most of our competitors, we've actually made a profit this year.
57.2.
In this lesson, we're going to look further at the life of Napoleon. As you'll remember, Napoleon was probably one of the greatest military leaders in history. In the class last week, we studied his earlier life until about 1808, and now we'll look at events from about 1808 until his death. By 1808, you'll recall, Napoleon had crowned himself Emperor of the First French Empire. By this time he was in control of much of Europe, including Austria, Italy, Spain and Sweden. However, in 1809, Spain and Austria rose up against the French. Although the French army defeated them, thousands of men were lost. And in 1812, ignoring repeated advice against it, Napoleon began his invasion of Russia. In this campaign, over 500,000 soldiers in his army were killed, and by 1814 Paris had fallen and Napoleon had abdicated. Now, what I'd like this half of the class to do is read the account of the battle near Vienna in 1809 in your textbooks starting on page 82. The other half should study the maps and pictures of the 1812 invasion on the handout and write a brief account of what you have observed.